Hello, I'm Ariel Selwyn with arielselwyn.com, and this is the VipKid mock class for My Country, My Culture. All right, so let's get started. So you're again going to be using TPR gestures to interact with the student, but these children for the My Country, My Culture have already had 2 years of English. So it's not going to be as scripted, and you want to be having a conversation with them. So these children want to talk. So they know more than the mock class for X. So again, you always want to be using gestures, you always want to be using TPR, but you do want to be prepared for them to ask you questions, and you want to be able to, like I said, have that conversation with them, and your mentor is going to throw some things at you, probably throw some questions at you, and you do want to be able to adjust to that. So you're going to start out, as always, with your name, but again, it doesn't have to be as scripted. So, hi. My name is Teacher Ariel. What is your name? Hi, Karis. It's nice to meet you. How old are you? Awesome. How was school today? Today, we are learning my country, my culture. Sorry about this. So when I am doing my country, my culture, I would underline it or circle it, my country, my culture. And I would underline it so they can see. And I might show them country. Point to that, okay? But again, this is not a teaching slide, this is just an introduction slide, so we're not gonna be getting into it too much. But we do have a lot of vocabulary in this. So any of the words in red, you're going to circle, and you're gonna have a lot of repetition, okay? So we do want to be circling all the vocabulary words, those words in red. We wanna say it several times, even 2 to 3 times, and we're going to be looking for mispronunciations. Again, these students want to talk, so they're going to be talking more, and don't get so caught up in doing the lesson exactly right, as much as you want to be listening for their mispronunciation so you can correct them. They want to talk, have that conversation with them, but correct their mispronunciations. And do it in a nice, gentle way, an encouraging way. Be excited for them. They want to talk. Be excited, have that conversation with them, but then correct them in a nice, encouraging way, okay? And then extend, ask them, like, how was school today? And then, just ask them, you'll get it as the lesson goes on, like as we do my country, my culture, where do you live? Or, what nationality are you? Or have you been to the Yellow Mountains? Or have you been, is that one of them, the Yellow Mountains? Have you been to Beijing? Or do you live in Beijing? Or, you'll get it. So let's get started. So I don't have the slides in front of me, but I'm gonna do it by memory. So the first slide I think is country. So country is a vocabulary. So you're gonna circle country. 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 Good. Let's read. And you might want to mark where they're going to start reading, but they should know. So you're going to let them read. Good. And then you're going to correct any mispronunciation. So there's no need for them to reread the whole thing, but circle the word that they mispronounce and then say it the right way. So if they said, pice instead of piece, or were instead of where, then you're going to say that the correct way and then have them say it. Good job. A country is a nation with people, language, culture, land, and government. Good. And when I said country, I would probably show them the country on the globe again and just show them, country. Or I might show them that when I'm saying the vocabulary word, country, country. You know, just to show them, to put a visual with their vocabulary word, because if we're just saying that, you know, it's just a word. Be prepared for them to ask questions. You know, when you're saying, you know, a country is a nation of people, language, culture, land, and government, they might say, you know, this is a higher level class. You know, they would say, teacher, what is government? You know, you're showing them a picture of this. Well, what is government? You know, be prepared to answer questions like that. And my mentor said, you know, Google is your friend. Google it. Google, you know, a picture of the president of China and show that to them on your phone, you know, so you can do things like that. And then, you know, extend a question, you know, after you're talking about, you know, country, ask them, you know, where do you live? And, you know, they might say China, they might not, you know, say, I live in China. Good. And you might say, what nationality are you? And they might not know, but this is teaching, it's extending. I am Chinese. Good, awesome. And you can do a reward system for this level. Just make sure it's a little bit more their level. You know, you might not do bananas for monkeys. You know, you might do, you know, little trophies, or you know, just something that's a little bit more grown up to their level. So, okay, so we're at flag. Okay, so there's 3 vocabulary words on this slide. There's flag, cloth, and represent. So before you start reading, you're going to do flag. Good. Flag. Good. Cloth. Cloth. Represent. Represent. Awesome. Let's read, or can you read? And then they're going to read that. Okay, so that's pretty much all we're going to do on that slide, because the next slide with the American flag, we're going to talk more about represent. So on the next slide, they already know flag. So I'm going to show them this. And you're going to say, can you read? So they're going to read. Good. When I see this, I think of America. America. When I see this, I think of America. This represents America. Okay, and you might have them repeat that, okay? This represents America, and have them repeat that. Okay, so you're teaching them represents. That's the goal of this slide, okay? So then when you go to the next slide, it's the, with the McDonald's and the Nike symbols and all those symbols. So you don't, some teachers spend a lot of time on the slide. You don't have to. The goal is to get them to understand represents. So again, it's, you know, you want to model it for them, make sure they understand, and then just have them understand this represents, you know, whatever. So the first one you might say, you know, the M, or circle the M. When I see the M, I think of McDonald's. Can you say that? And see if they can say that. Get them to say the complete sentence. The M represents McDonald's. Good job. And then you might circle the Nike. And I had a Nike shoe when I did that. And I said, what does this represent? Good. This represents Nike. So make sure they say it in a complete sentence. And then you might circle Mercedes. And I got one of my son's little cars. So circle that. What does this represent? So if they're getting it, awesome. If they're not getting it, you might want to use that sentence again. When I see this, I think of, You know, so that's a good sentence for them. And then circle, you know, you can go through it. The Chinese one is the Chinese language. If they don't say Chinese language, if they just say China or they just say Chinese, you know, that's fine. We're trying to get them to understand what represent means. So you can circle the bottom one is Puma. You can just, you know, get them to, you know, we're just trying to get them to represent. If they say tiger, that's fine. So represent. So represent Mercedes. So as long as they're saying this represents and they understand it. When I see, you know, I think of. So, okay. So the next slide, what are we doing? Capital. So capital is a vocabulary word. So you're going to circle capital. 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 Good. Can you read? Okay, so they're going to read. We usually want to put a little box or underline where they're going to start reading, and then they know where to read. So they're going to read. Good. A capital is the main city of a country, and I might point to this again. Country with the most government offices. Good. And also be prepared again for them to ask questions. Okay, the next slide is landmarks. Again, that's a vocabulary word. So landmarks. Good. Landmarks. Okay, remember you circle it. Remember to always recircle it. Can you read? This slide has a lot of reading, but that's what they're supposed to do at this level. So you're going to listen to them read. Make sure that you're correcting any mispronunciations. So whatever they mispronunciate, you're going to circle just that word. They don't need to read the whole sentence. So circle that word and then say it correctly. And then you're going to listen to it. Good job. Okay, so in this slide, we want them to know the difference between made by people and natural. So I'm going to circle the yellow mountains. And I'm going to say yellow mountains. Good. The yellow mountains are natural. So I'm going to let them, yes, natural. I'm going to circle Great Wall. The Great Wall was made by people. So I'm going to have them, the Great Wall was made by people. Good. Have you been to the Great Wall? So that's an extension question. So I'm going to have them answer. Okay, so you don't have to go through all of these. We just want them to know the difference between natural and Great Wall. And you're not going to have time to go through all of them because remember, you're trying to get through these in a certain amount of time. So we're going to go to the next slide. And we want them to draw a line. So I might circle the first one and just have them know, you know, natural. And then circle the next one, say made by people. Okay, at the top, because they have those two, natural, made by people. And then I'm going to choose one to circle. And I might choose, you know, the Great Wall. And I'm going to say natural, made by people. Draw a line. And then I might do the next one, the terracotta warriors. Natural, made by people. Draw a line. So if they're getting it, I'm going to gradually release them and say, what else is made by people? If they're not getting it, then I might, you know, show them my mouse, say, draw a line. Or I might draw one for them to show them. But if they're getting it, you know, just let them take off. Sometimes they just take off. So, or I might say, what is natural? And if they're not talking and they're just doing it, you know, you want to say, I can't hear you. You know, so we want to talk. We want to have them talking in complete sentences. So when they're drawing a line, say, what is made by people? You know, I can't hear you. You know, and have them say, so they're talking in complete sentences, the Great Wall is made by people. So as they're drawing the line, The yellow mountains are natural. So we want to hear them talking, okay? We want lots and lots of complete sentences. Okay, so the last slide, I believe, is the phonics. And this is really easy. It's really easy to do on a whiteboard. You're talking about soft C. So I just write this down. Why is that? There's a glare. Sorry about that. Soft C, C-E, C-I, C-Y makes the sound S. And then I might do, like, write down, I think one of the, I don't have the slide in front of me, but I think one is scent. Scent. Good. And I might do one with the CI and one with the CY, and then I have them read the rest, and they can do that. So on the slide, you can maybe circle each one and say read, and they can read the rest. So that's real easy. So anyway, I hope that helps. You're going to do a great job in your mock class. I would encourage you to watch lots of videos. You know, get practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. And, you know, again, you don't have to be perfect because you want to be able to adapt and be flexible to different students and their learning styles. But I would encourage you to watch a lot of different teachers teach the mock classes so that you can get some ideas, but then develop into your own teaching style. So, all right, good job.